You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Hero After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Hero After Show.
Come on, Mike. Go. Hey, Heroes fans. Okay, so today is The Hero Sacrifice, Season 1, Episode 7, and it is your host, Spicy, in the studio with the amazing, phenomenal Phil, executive producer, and co-host to moi.
Welcome, welcome. It's actually very difficult to be this upbeat after tonight's episode, but I'm going to try anyway. I got to keep the energy up.
Okay, well, I have enough for us because I am super happy. Somebody who you guys may love, I personally didn't grow too fond of on the show, that just got eliminated. Episode starts off with Athena getting sent home.
Yeah, bye. I mean, you know, you could see why Charles voted her out. It made perfect sense. And speaking of that, by the way, later in tonight's episode, we will have Darnell, one of the eligible heroes, calling in.
Yes.
So we'll get to speak to him. I know Spicy wasn't the biggest fan at first.
Darnell, don't be mad when you call. I'm going to show you mad love, but I'm going to keep it real. Little bit by little bit, you have won me over. But for you know, Hero Darnell fans, he will be in on phone call later on today.
Yes.
So get excited because you can ask in. Can people call in still?
People can.
424-256-1729 if you guys want to chat with Darnell and ask any questions. But let's start off with talking about Athena getting sent home.
Tonight's episode really was, you know, it's interesting how kind of things play out just naturally, and it was her time to go. It just was.
So I thought that she was going to be eliminated earlier, prior to Rachel being eliminated. And unfortunately, you know, Lydia had some personal reasons why she eliminated Rachel. So Athena made it this far in the game. Along the path, it is Spicy's personal opinion that Athena isn't as bad as she was painted to be as the villain, but she didn't shine either. And so that's why I wasn't upset that Athena was sent home. And, you know, Patty spoke on her behalf last week. If you guys had opportunity to tune in, go back, check it out. And she said that her relationship with Athena actually did grow and that they did get along and that Athena is, you know, a great person, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, we didn't get to see that on the show.
Well, I think she had her moments. I mean, she may argue otherwise that she didn't get her one moment, like everyone's always fought for. But we saw glimpses, and she did help the team at times. You know, the times she didn't necessarily. But
when she was yelling while she was driving the Jeep.
No, I'm talking specifically last challenge. You know, I think she had some sort of play there. You know, and she helped out the team. But again, I think she did what she could.
Okay. So let's talk about going into the challenge, since, you know, Athena gets eliminated and now it's announced that 5 people get to go on the next challenge. 1 person gets to stay. And the person who stays, of course, Patty immediately begins saying, oh, you know, I'll do it fine, because she's nervous that they're going to outvote her not to go anyways. And Patty spoke to us last week and said that she is an emotional person. And we've got to witness that every single episode because she is constantly crying. But now that we've had a chance to listen to Patty here on AfterBuzz TV, I must say I love her to death. And I completely understand why she's made it this long. But Patty decides that she's going to stay home and only 5 of them go. And they have to repel, which was your AfterBuzz prediction.
Well, you know, it was also interesting how Charles, you know, in terms of the whole episode, he was willing to stay. Or actually, it was Marty who wanted Patty to come. You know, it's also, what's funny about it, had Marty just decided to stay, he would have been the one to really do it. You know what I mean?
had he
And had his moment.
a humble moment, had he been humble in that situation and said, okay, you know what, I'm going to sit back, let you guys go, then he would have had his time to shine when it got flipped.
Yes.
Although I don't think that same offer would have been given to Marty. I think the reason that when the 5 went and Patty was given the opportunity to do the line crossing from the rock, I think that was because it was Patty.
I mean, I would love to know like how specific it is to each person. You know, of okay, we know Spicy likes this. Let's make up a temptation tailor-made about this. That's what I feel like it is. Yeah.
Because they know that they're not going to get Patty with the money. So what they did instead was, okay, we're not going to give you the money. We're going to give it to charity, and you're going to make sure that your team wins and the money goes to the pot.
Yeah.
And so, because for Patty, I mean, obviously they tried multiple times to bribe her with the money aspect, and it wasn't working any shape or form. So I feel like they tailored it to her. That's my personal opinion. And Phil, speak on what you thought about them rappelling down the building. You said like Donald Trump probably was mad about it.
He's probably looking out the window like, what the heck's going on? Who are these people? No, but you know, it was interesting to see kind of. I mean, that's a 70 stories high.
Yeah,
70 stories. I can't even imagine.
Well, it didn't look easy at all. And
the wind picks up the higher you are. I mean, I don't know how strong the wind is down there, but it's certainly not 2 miles an hour.
I mean, it looked like they were struggling. It definitely did for Lydia. She fell, 2 or 3 times, and who rescued her?
It looked like Marty and Dave were the anchors, or at least that's what it seemed like. You know, they had the 3 in the front, 2 in the back, and it seemed like the 2 in the back were the anchors for the front 3. You know, had Dave kind of slipped up, then Lydia would have just gone all the way to the finish line.
Tell me the truth. Do you think that Patty could have done that hero challenge?
I don't think Patty could have done that one. She couldn't have done that one. Because here's
I agree.
They said it's. I think what helped her with the line challenge was, you know, you have to go horizontally, whereas this you're going vertically, and you're and the reason I say that is because you're looking down at it. You know,
and her fear of heights probably would have not only hindered her, but also I think that you have to have strong legs. And I know that Patty commented on this and said that she has been working out hard and losing weight. But in this particular challenge, I think that it took a lot of stability and strength in order to get down there. And Lydia, who's a personal trainer, fell 3 times. Yeah. So imagine, you know, Patty, who, you know, is a professional Oprah watcher.
For me,
down.
It just goes to the, you know, they did it in about 6 minutes and 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
That's what about it. You know, so for that amount of time, you're just looking down at basically 70 stories. Oh, there's my imminent doom. You know, 3.5 minutes for her to walk through, you know, that's just like, okay, you kind of shut down and you're like, okay, I just got to go. By the way, Marty really stepped up in the sense of, you know, hey guys, lean forward. It's actually easier.
Very true. Marty did. He showed maturity in this moment because it was a physical challenge. And then we see Dave in the background starts.
It was Charles who started.
Oh, Charles. Was it Charles? Okay, Charles starts chanting. He starts encouraging the team to, what does he say? I forget. Let the tension keep you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same thing as.
What does that mean? Let the tension keep you up. The tension from the rope, or I don't understand what that chant meant.
He could have said bubbles. No, because you know, it's like him with Patty the last challenge. It's more of the focus of, okay, remember these words versus, okay, remember that I'm looking down at the ground.
Okay, so he was just trying to get their mind off of things because it sounded like that's like a physical command, like let the tension keep you up, because there's tension to keep you, you know, from falling because of the rope. So I thought maybe it was more like I don't know, something about strength maybe.
It could have been. It could have. I don't know what exactly that was in reference to, but it's you've done athletic things, Spicy. You just make up random stuff.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Regardless, it did take their mind off of things, and I think that once again it showed leadership, because this is like maybe the 2nd or 3rd time that we've seen Charles step up and start encouraging the team when spirits are low.
Yeah.
He did the same thing for like a scavenger hunt before.
Yeah, it was episode 2 when he said, "Hey, guys," it was when the temptation by Sean was taken.
Correct.
And it was like, okay, listen, you know, whatever happened, happened.
Well, but I think that Charles has been consistently showing us leadership, heroicness, or was it heroism? Was that what I'm saying? Is heroicness a word?
I want to go back to, what did The Rock say when Epic and...
when Epic Unbelievable had a baby.
They created this challenge.
Right. And it was exactly what you thought that it was going to be, except for I thought it was going to be more of a race, and it was more of a team effort.
Yeah, because they made it seem like, okay, there's only 5 can go. Here's, we always knew that it was going to be 6. Okay, out of those 6, whoever's going to be the first 5, there's our teams that we get to vote on.
And leave it to the Hero Show to have a flop.
Yes.
So, great. These 5 just made it down. Now only 3 get to go. We think that it's going to be Lydia, Marty, and Charles.
Dr. Dave.
Dr. Dave. Oh, okay. For some reason, I think because they're the same height, I confuse Dr. Dave with Charles sometimes. But Dr. Dave and then Lydia and Marty decide that they get to go on the challenge. But then... because Patty's staying home, The Rock, of course, approaches her and tells her, what, $35,000 if you do nothing.
Yes, do nothing, let them go. Or the odds are much greater if you go, don't take the money, you'll win.
And she decides to go.
Here's the thing. How do you really believe that they could have done it, the 3 of them?
What was my time?
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Here's the thing. That's 3 people. Okay, right? So you're hanging on. You got one rope for your arms, bottom rope for your legs, and it's going to be shaking. Now times that by 3 people going every which way possible.
I think they could have done it because it took the maximum amount of time for Patty to do it. And Patty, I love you, but she moves like a snail. And so and we saw this last time when she was running in the cave with Charles.
But here's the problem. The faster you go, the more swing you get. See?
Touché. I think that's a great point, except I feel like they would have been on sync with their steps. I think that Patty was walking sideways, and I think that they would have probably walked forward on the same foot and I think they would have been able to do it. I totally have faith in the last competitors for the Hero Show.
Here's what I actually wanted. I wanted Marty to vote himself out, but to say, hey, let me do one last challenge and I will beast it.
That would have been awesome. But Marty eliminating himself, not going to happen.
But here's the thing. He doesn't want the money, so he wanted a challenge. So, okay.
Marty does want the money. Anybody on the show who says they don't want the money, I do not believe it. Because
what about Charles?
Okay, he came on the show to win the money. Maybe his heart changed along the way, and maybe he just decided, okay, I've soul searched and found enough of myself on this show. But at the end of the day, you guys entered into a competitive show where you're trying to win a certain amount of money, possibly $1 million. Right now it's at $600,000 about. But if it wasn't about the money, they wouldn't have come on the show and they would have just done these challenges themselves at home.
I mean, you can't really rappel across the Trump Tower.
You can go to Costa Rica and do it. You can go anywhere if you really want to challenge yourself. If Patty really didn't care about the money, then she would have been tried to, face her fear with heights and climbed up a Runyon Canyon or something. I'm just saying that everybody wants the money.
I think I would disagree with you only because sometimes, you need to be pushed. People need to be pushed. People barely want to get out of bed.
So
almost every day.
Okay,
they need a challenge.
If they didn't want the money, which so you think that the other team was?
I think for most people, yes, it started off as the money, but I think what they gained along the way, I think you can't forget that.
So then why didn't they all eliminate themselves? Exactly. They want the money. And I think that even at the end, after Charles did it, he was like, oh, snaps, my wife is going to kill me. But
I think if you rewatch the episode that we had him in studio, I think he has no regrets.
You know what? I love him after he came into the studio because everybody who's so far been on the show is like, Charles didn't really give us too much of his personality on the show. And I feel like he did. But I think that after he sat with our interview, we got to see more of this like lighthearted, fun, energetic person. And like I said, Marty might have pulled some of that out of him because he's so high strung. But I think that he is just an authentically nice guy. And so when he eliminated himself, I believe that he was ready to go, but at the last second, I think he doubted it just a little bit. Like maybe they're going to keep me, maybe they're not. But I think that he was prepared to go. I think it was selfless. I think it was definitely selfless. and a real hero. But let's talk about Marty's funky ass attitude on this episode.
All right. Well, it's interesting getting into the parenting aspect because then you have Darnell, who has kids, and then you have Patty who has kids, and they're like mom and dad arguing about how to raise the kid. It's true.
Good point. But I bet you that Marty did not expect Patty to come home and say that she won.
No, he did not.
And I didn't expect that either. Patty, I'm sorry. Love you to death. Like I said, disclaimer. But I did not expect you to win that physical challenge. And I'm very proud that you did.
Here's how I knew, because in last episode, she said, hey, I'll get my moment. So I was like, okay, as soon as she did that, I was like, okay, you're gonna win. I'm gonna be proud of you.
Well, I think that out of everybody, Patty has shocked me the most. But she's also been given the most opportunity. Because she's so well liked, I feel like she's granted a lot of favor from the other competitors that not everybody has been bestowed. And so because she's a favorable hero competitor, I think that she's given multiple opportunities to prove herself. And because she's been deemed the weakest link from the beginning, she's really made a switch, and we've seen her grow the most. And I think that she's been groomed to become the next hero. And that's just my personal opinion. But I do think that Patty is definitely that woman that now we've had an opportunity to see that if her car, if there was a car like over a newborn baby or something, she would be that mom that comes and lifts it up.
She would be Hulk.
Yeah, she would be like the Hulk and like throw the car off.
Or the Rock.
Or, oh yeah, The Rock. But I definitely want to give props to Patty because she made it through this hero challenge. But unfortunately, her little baby Marty had a bad attitude.
I'll give Lydia a lot of credit. She said, I don't want to leave the show with any regrets. And so she had the talk with Patty and said, listen, your boy Marty isn't as sweet as you think. He's been throwing temper tantrums.
Well, I think that Lydia made it very clear from the choices that she's made with who she's eliminated, in addition to what she said on the show, that honesty is really, really important to her. And that's why I think she felt compelled to tell Patty, because she didn't want to, possibly eliminate the wrong person by withholding information.
Yeah.
When it came down to the war room and everybody had an opportunity to talk about why they have entered the competition and what they've learned from, I was surprised at who winds up being eliminated.
I mean, it's true. I think I'll also, just to go back to that moment, I'll give Lydia a lot of credit. Her and Darnell took it the right way in the sense of, Lydia was mad at the fact that she couldn't stay and cheer on Patty.
Oh, great point.
Again, whereas Marty was like, oh, I wanted to beast that challenge, but that's the way to look at it.
So Lydia's issue was, we don't get to support Patty.
Yeah, I don't get to be the cheerleader so she can have her
She's
moment.
all by herself and she's scared of heights. And Marty was, I'm angry because the opportunity to compete in this last challenge was just taken from me once again. And this is not the first time that he has thrown a tantrum. We've seen him go under cupboards and tables and pout and just be angry, cross his arms, and not talk to anybody for the entire day when he doesn't get to be in a challenge. And that is not heroic. But one thing I do think is that Marty's not being fake. He's not pretending to be okay with things when he's not okay with them. He's not pretending that he, doesn't have a problem when he really does. And I appreciate his honesty. If he's going to be a brat, gosh darn it, be a brat so that I know the real you and you're not pretending to be a hero.
But the only thing is you have to kind of, as you grow, you have to learn that within yourself. And I hope he's getting better at it, where you see, okay, you know what, I'm being a brat, but I shouldn't really be. And so, you know what, I'm going to force myself not to, I might tell you, hey, you know what, it does upset me that I don't get to do this, but you know what, I'm proud of you. Or whatever it may be.
He touched on that a little bit in this episode.
After a while.
Yeah, I think it took him a second, but yeah, he's had to learn from everybody else. And Darnell, who we're going to be able to speak with later, addressed it a few times that, he's got to learn from this. He has to grow up a little bit, and everybody can't keep coddling him. And I think that that's something that everybody has been doing because Marty is liked. I think that, they see his tantrum and they're like, oh, well, it's just Marty. He's just, a really strong competitor. And I do understand where he's coming from, wanting to get up in there in that challenge. Because I don't think that it's, he thinks he has something to prove to us. I think he really wants to compete. And he said that here when he was in the show, like he loves the challenge.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like the people who were chosen, I'm really surprised because, I mean, Charles is amazing. He has done a phenomenal job of, you know, just showing leadership and teamwork. And I just totally thought that they were going to flip it and send Marty home. So once again, we were tricked.
Yeah, you know, I didn't realize it until that point, but when The Rock says, like, you know, he kind of explained the whole journey and things like that, and he looked at Charles and he said, "You're the hero. What's going on?" You know, that I would have voted for Charles.
Did you not think that at some point The Rock was going to say, and because you did something so heroic, we're going to let you get voted by America?
It definitely was a possibility, but the thing is, I think Hero has to live with his choices, and that would have been too easy, you know, in the big picture of what a hero is.
Ooh, and well, the thing is he's a cop. I feel like that he's automatically a hero. Like you're automatically, society deems you a hero. And so the part that I feel bad about is, yes, he got to prove to himself that he's a hero on the show too, but he didn't get to go home with any money. And so I'm surprised that Darnell, who took money, gets to go home, you know, gets to enter into this, you know, pot of $600,000, you know, for America to vote, has $50,000 already sitting in the bank. And he did take money at one point, but it was okay, as opposed to Athena, who took money at one point. But what doesn't make it okay is that she's not as well liked.
I mean, you know, we have some beef to pick with Darnell, to say the least.
I can't wait to ask Darnell this. Like, I want to know his personal opinion about what made it okay to him that he took it and not Athena. Like, I can't wait until he calls in so that we can address that.
You know, you like Athena, you like Lydia.
I love Lydia.
And she's made it, you know, it's her philosophy too that, hey, you know, if you go ahead on the Heroes Challenge and you win the money and it's not affecting the team, then go ahead and take the money.
Right.
Now, obviously, when elimination came about, then it was, okay, you can take the money, but you're out. Then it was a different story. So her and Darnell side on that.
I'm surprised that they didn't, like, get a little snippet or sound bite from Lydia saying, like, yes, or something when Athena got eliminated. But I'm not surprised. I had a feeling that Athena was not going to make it till the end, and she didn't. And so now we're just left with Marty, Patty, and
Darnell
and Dr. Dave.
And Dr. Dave.
And
This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
This is. And the way that the voting is set up is, you said that 10 people, or you get 10 votes to vote.
You can go on Rock's Facebook page, which is amazing, or you can text in, and we'll ask Darnell for that number. But you can vote up to 10 times.
Okay.
Per you know, service or whatever you want to call it.
So anybody that's tuning in right now, you guys have to already vote. You're already going to be in your phone, on the internet, whichever way you're going to get a hold of TNT to cast your vote. While you're doing that, you might as well log in online and go to the www.adventuresofzerobuddies.com.
Yes.
Is that what the site is?
AdventuresOfZeroBuddies.com, yes.
Okay, AdventuresOfZeroBuddies.com, and purchase Serial Buddies. It's a super funny movie. It's got a quirky, dry humor, but it's also a little zany, and I love it. I think that it'd be the perfect complement to wrapping up the Hero Show.
You know what? How about this? For those of you who are actual fans of The Rock, you know, from the wrestling days, there is a character who wears a WWE title.
Oh.
So you know what? Check that out. That's how I'll tease that.
You guys definitely got to make sure that you go and download it, purchase it. It helps us keep the lights on here at the studio. I mean, you guys get to be fans of the show, you know, access the guests that we have come in from the actual show.
That's right, the mind of Darnell.
Yes, and it's for free. So all you have to do is just help support us with just purchasing The Adventures of Serial Buddies. And how much is it?
It's $5.99.
$5.99. That's like less than an El Pollo Loco meal. So you guys totally can afford that and support us. And what time do we have Darnell coming on?
Darnell will be calling in a bit. So I would say another 5 more minutes.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll do what's called in radio, we'll kill time.
Is there anything on the show that you want to speak to?
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we speak about our favorite moments of the past 7 episodes?
Okay, so my favorite moment would probably be, and you guys are going to think this is possibly a little bit weird, is when Darnell is rappelling down the building, and he winds up having to like get the little clues for it's not called trivia. What is it called? When
it was a puzzle.
It was like a puzzle, but a riddle. It's more like a riddle.
That's right.
And so at the very end, this was probably I wasn't able to guess the riddle. So when Darnell guessed it, I was super excited because I did not expect. I was like, well, I can't get it, so he's not gonna be able to get it. And he winds up getting it, and I love that. Like, I was super excited, super emotional in that moment, and I love the fact that he got to give something to his family, because I don't have any kids, and I just love the fact that people who do have kids are always constantly thinking about putting them first as opposed to themselves. And in that moment, he had a really, really hard choice to make. He had already lost a challenge where he'd come so freaking close and already done physical damage to his body. I mean, we all saw his head get hit. And then he winds up getting this one and is able to give his family and take care of them, this money.
And what I like about that, too, is he was sabotaged in the last one. You know what I mean? In the last one, right?
What do you mean he was sabotaged?
Time was taken away.
Oh.
Remember that? And so he really stood no chance because he had 10 minutes instead of 20. I mean, that 10 minutes as opposed to 20, that's a huge difference.
Out of all the challenges, which ones do you think were the hardest? Because I feel like that might have been one of the hardest challenges, where he had to undo, what was that, a box that he had to...
Yeah, he had to rip open a box within a box within a box.
Yeah, so there's like nails on every single side. He has a screwdriver in like 30 feet of water that he has to unscrew.
Speaking of Darnell, he's on the line out here.
Darnell, welcome to AfterBuzz.
Yo, Spicy Lottie, what up?
Are you gonna brag on me right now because I've been getting on you? I gave you a hard time in the beginning of the season.
No, look, my skin is thick. I'm not tripping on nobody. I'm not tripping at all. I'm good to go.
Good.
I'm comfortable with me.
I'm happy to hear that, because I will tell you, you definitely won me over. I did not think that you were going to be able to make it this far, because I had my doubts in the beginning. I didn't really get so much of a feel of your personality. I felt like you were like, oh, nice guy, but you are a father, and I ragged, a little bit about your physicalness, and I did that same thing with Patty. And you proved to me like you could do marathons with your eyes closed and your hands tied behind your back. I mean, you did a phenomenal job every single challenge. And we were just talking about right now the box. Can you tell me how crazy that was for you to unscrew that box in that water?
No, that was fun. I mean, for me, that was harder than the heights thing, because so far as now, let me get back to the whole physical thing. You said I had a belly and all that. That might be true, but I'm not really tripping. I consider myself a little bit of an athlete. I might not look like it, but I can go. I guess I kind of tried to prove that to people. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I proved it to myself. I'm not really tripping.
You proved it to me too.
The box was crazy though. I mean, to have to run that far. Let me talk about the shoe tying thing. It took away 5 seconds, Phil. 5 seconds.
I know.
5 seconds, dog. 5 seconds would not have helped me. 6 seconds maybe. My suicide. What about a trip? What about a fail? Everybody been talking about it. Everybody would have been laughing at me. That would have been no good.
Very true. Knowing my butt, I would have fallen.
It was tough though. It was real tough to run with a sledgehammer and then get into that water, because I'm not the greatest swimmer. Swim with a sledgehammer and then bust it open, because you can't really get any leverage on that bad boy. So and then you got to swim back to the other end to get the wrench, and then open the box with the wrench. And what you guys didn't see is what I had to do after that. I was going to basically have to swim under there because the water was so high, put some straps around the safe, and then get the safe, have them take the safe up with a crane. So it was nuts.
What? Okay, that's crazy.
That was crazy though.
And I'm just happy that you didn't really, I mean, you hurt yourself, but I'm happy that it wasn't worse, because you really could have got a serious concussion from that wrench hitting you in the head.
Oh, let me tell you, I really literally almost knocked myself out. If it wasn't for the adrenaline and that kind of thing, I think I would have been out. It was, the spot on my head is still actually sore to this day.
What? Are you serious?
Sore. I mean, the lump is obviously gone, but the spot, if I touch it, it's tender a little bit. It's crazy. I tried to take a lunch home as a souvenir from the house, but I couldn't get it past airport security.
Did you go to the doctors though after that? Because what if it was like something major?
They had medics there. They had a medic there. He was ex-special forces cat, and they were fantastic. I mean, they're not gonna really let nothing happen to you like that. I know everybody paused right when it happened because I talked to him about it. It was like everybody kind of just stopped just to see what I was gonna do, and after. I mean, you even noticed, even The Rock kind of paused, and he was like, yeah, you're all right, let's go. Because it was one of those things where, he really could have done something to himself. I really could have, I consider myself pretty tough, and I proved it to myself right there, let me tell you.
Oh, no,
that was a hell of a hit.
You are tough. Because we literally saw the welt on your head grow on camera. Like, it just appeared.
Yeah, and that wasn't camera magic either. I mean, 1 second there was nothing, and right after I hit it, it like a golf ball, boom.
So Phil asked me my favorite moment on the show for the Heroes Challenge, and I was saying that was one of the greatest challenges I felt like that you did. Even though you didn't win, you wound up winning the next one, which was a riddle. And I felt like that was pretty darn dope because for whatever reason, I suck at riddles, and I just didn't think you were going to get it, and you shocked the hell out of me and won that money. How did you feel in that moment?
Yeah, a lot of people said that too. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, how'd you feel in that moment? Like, I mean, you probably, like we're freaked out.
It's funny because, to be honest with you, the hardest challenge for me if I look at all the challenges, the hardest one for me to have done would have been days because I'm terrified of spiders. And I'm not sure, that would have been tough for me. I would have really had to suck it up to get through that one because me and spiders did not get along. And I mean, now it's like, in the house, I had the spider, Charles was helping me out with that. He had the spider crawling on my hand afterwards. And I kind of got over that fear a little bit with the help of Charles. But I'm telling you, like, going to this thing, me and spiders, I'm a little girl when it comes to spiders. And, probably worse, to be honest with you, because even little spiders, my wife killed the spiders in the house. I'm telling you, I don't do spiders. I don't know what it is.
That is
so that was probably been the hardest one for me. But the riddle thing was, it was tough. I've always been kind of good at riddles and that kind of thing. I always grew up liking math in school and puzzles.
Okay.
So that was that was my thing. English was never my thing, obviously. But math and numbers, I was always pretty good with that kind of stuff.
Now, in tonight's episode, you said that, unless I'm mistaken, that you're afraid of heights, and which is why you ultimately took yourself out, from the team of 3. But it's interesting how you rappelled down in tonight's episode off Trump Tower, and then you also, as we were talking about that challenge, you went down the bridge. Are you scared of heights now? Like, do you still define yourself as afraid of heights?
No. I didn't say I was afraid of heights. I said I'm not a good climber. I'm not like a climber guy, like that kind of thing. I'm not afraid of heights. I didn't say I was afraid of heights. I said I'm not a good climber.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not really afraid of heights at all. No, I mean, you could have, it's fine. I mean, if it came up like that, you're probably not the only one that thought I said that. But because I'm not really afraid of heights. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. You get up 450 feet, anybody's gonna, you're gonna take a breath like, whoa. That's why I said when I was up there, I don't know if you remember on the show, I said, hurry up, let's do this before I change my mind. Mm-hmm. Because when you're up there, man, 450 feet ain't no joke, boy. And when it's on a small pillar, well, it seems small when you're up there. It's a long way down. So I'm not afraid of heights, but, I think anybody will kind of take a step back when they get that high up. But, I mean, let me tell you what Patty did, though, with nothing underneath you, just a tightrope, sure, that was nuts.
Phil asked me, Darnell, if I think that the team would have been able to make it under 3 minutes instead if Patty hadn't taken the challenge. What do you think?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so because they would have to go one at a time. But I don't know. 3 minutes, I'm not sure. They might have. It's tough to say. You just never know. Anything can happen. I mean, maybe.
What was the to take it back to the start of the episode, when Charles left for the Heroes Challenge last episode, and then when he finally came back tonight, did you guys expect him to kind of be gone? I mean, that everyone thought that was an impossible challenge, but he came back. Did you guys have relief? What was that feeling like?
For me, it was always cool to see somebody come back and win. Because for me, I know how it was to lose one and then win one. So, I didn't want anybody to lose one. So it's for me, I was, I don't know if you know, I was cool with everybody. No one really had a problem with me because I encouraged everybody. I was there for everybody. I did my thing. I was straightforward with everybody, and I was cool with it. When it came back, it didn't bother me none. It's a game. Ultimately, I played it like that the whole time. It was never real life to me. So, was I worried about elimination sometimes? Yeah, of course. It's a game. I mean, to me, I was competition. And if somebody would have came and got rid of me, so be it. That's what would have happened. But, when he came back, it was like, dope. I'm glad you finished. I'm happy for you. And, we had conversations in the house and that kind of thing. And I didn't really think that Charles was going to send me, but there's always a chance. I was shocked when Lydia sent Rachel home. I had no idea the other stuff. That shocked me. So you just didn't know what was going to happen.
So you said on the show that you grew a relationship with Athena, and you were a little sad to see her go. Who do you think that if it wasn't Athena, Charles should have sent home?
At that point, it was real tough. I don't know. I think most people would have said, or some people would have said me because I already took 50 grand. I think, thinking back at the time, I think some people would have said Marty. But, it could have been any of us, to be honest with you. You didn't know. Charles is so hard to read. Like, that dude is tough. He's a tough read. And I have a pretty good intuition. Like, I read people pretty well. I like to think. But you just never know with that cat.
Did you expect him to eliminate himself, though?
No, didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming at all. And no one was happy about it. It was crazy because I was whipping up a meal for everybody. We had whipped up a meal. We was all sitting down. We was pumped up.
I saw that.
It was done. We was about to sit down and eat at the dining room table for the very first time. All of us sitting down having a happy meal. And then they're going to hit us with that. Yeah, you got to get rid of one person. So it kind of killed the mood, killed the moment. But yeah, when Charles said that, it was kind of like, it was one of those things where, I would rather I would have rather it been like a straight vote than him just saying that. Because, I wanted to win, yeah, but you kind of don't want to win like that if you win, you know what I'm saying? If you're able to get to the final and then be voted on, you kind of didn't want to get there like with somebody stepping down. You kind of wanted it to be, a vote, but, it was what it was. That's what he wanted. So, we had conversations. We had more conversations than what you really saw. That's really what he wanted. So, I'm the type of person, look, I've been a bond with somebody, and you ask me that's what you want, then that's what you're going to get from me. I'm a man of my word. I'm straightforward. That's what you're going to get from me.
So you believe in your heart of heart that he wanted to go home, and that's why you guys voted for him in the war room? Because I totally thought that you guys were going to keep him and send Marty home because of his, naughty attitude that episode.
Right. No. I believe in my heart that Charles, that's what he wanted. That's exactly what he wanted. We didn't give him what he wanted with the swim, and he really wanted that. And I believe in my heart that he really wanted to walk away from it. He really wanted to walk away from it. And he didn't say all of his speech in the war room, but he said in his speech in the war room, he was like, I always said it wasn't about the money. He said, but it was always about the money. He said that. So he wanted to know he could walk away from it, and he did. And more power to him. He got what he wanted.
You mentioned earlier that you were whipping up a meal for everyone. And I'm just going to say, I was pretty impressed about what you were making. It was like a little chicken dish, pasta kind of thing. Where did you learn to cook? Was that from your father?
No, that was a fish.
Was it fish? I thought it was like chicken. It looked. I just saw seasonings.
No, you know what? Mainly like my mom's. I learned from my mom's, and I watched her. I never was really a cooker, and then I went to college, didn't really have to cook nothing. I came home when I had to live on my own. It was like, okay, it's time to go, and I kind of just took some stuff from my mom. Actually, I would call her like, Mom, how you do this? How you do that? And I just kind of realized I had a knack for it, so I just started doing it, and I fell in love with cooking. I love to cook. I cook for everybody in the house like 5 times. They didn't show it, but I whipped up meals. I was whipping up meals all the time.
Nice.
I fried some chicken. I made some homemade marinara sauce. I hit him with the Alfredo from scratch, and I hit him with the tilapia.
That's pretty good. I'm sorry. I love a man that can cook. I think that is phenomenal. And I'm sure that your wife appreciates that too. You made reference to her and your kids. I'm sure she does. You made reference to her and your kids several times on the show. Of course, you're very close with them. And you said you kind of like in the war room when The Rock gives you an opportunity to explain yourself and why you're here, you gave a lot of the credit to your father and that he was a hero to you. Did you accomplish feeling as if on this show that you are half the hero that your father was?
You know, to me, that he was just now they didn't show. I don't know if you know, but my father passed away in 2002.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So no, yeah, it's okay, it's okay. You know, I'm an only child. I was raised an only child, raised a military brat, born in Cleveland, Ohio, and it was always me, my mom, and my pops. And you know, my mom's my hero too. But you know, she still lives out here with me. I'm a mama's boy now. Now, ever since my dad died, I call my mama every day before on the way to work. You know, stuff like that, because it's crazy losing somebody you're so close to. Like, my dad was my best friend. And, you know, all I grew up seeing him do is do the right thing as far as I'm concerned. Taking care of us, taking me places, taking us places, you know, doing everything for my mom that she wanted. You know, it's what I saw growing up, so that's all I knew.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it means so much to me. It's not a game with me. Like, family means everything. Like, you know, my dad is, you know, he went out basically like, check this out. You know, you know what you need to do. He didn't have to say it because I saw it. I saw it in him. And, you know, I hope I'm half the man he is. I mean, you know, my mom tells me I am, and that's good to hear. But it's one of those things where I don't think I ever will be in my eyes because he's the greatest man, the greatest thing that ever walked this earth. You know, my dad was the truth. You know what I'm saying? He served in the military. He was all that to me. You know, so he's my hero. You know, he really is. To this day, he's gone, but I hear him, you know, in my ears when stuff is going bad or stuff is going good. I always hear him. So I got that from him.
Well, I totally think that he would be proud of you. And I know that your family is probably tremendously proud of you. Can you speak a little bit about what you're going to do with the $50,000 that you have already won and how you're probably going to do something for them, I'm sure.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, well, first of all, you know, it's one of those things where, look, I ain't Rockefeller. You know, it's almost like we I'm a regular everyday blue collar working too. So it's hard for me to save money. You know, we got 2 kids and stuff. But now we ain't hungry. People got way worse than us. I'm not looking for sympathy or nothing like that because without the show, we good. You know, I'm good without the $50,000. I'm good. You know what I mean? We were good. We were gonna eat because I'll never be on the corner. I'll go work for jobs for my folks go hungry or or for lacking shelter or whatever. But I'll pay off some debt. You know, get out of debt, be able to start saving money again. You know, throw something, a little something away for the girls. So, if they ever need anything from now to then. But I mean, honestly, you think about it, $50,000. What do you see of it? $30,000?
Yeah, after
so,
taxes.
Pay off some bills and stuff like that. You're not gonna really have that much. So I know that sounds crazy. $30,000. I've never seen that much money. Most money I've seen at one time was $5,000, to be honest with you. But
nice. Your account's about to be
like regular everyday stuff. I'm still the same dude. Nothing has changed for me. Like none of this hasn't brought anything crazy to me. I'm still the same dude. I ain't gonna change. And that's all it's going to go to. I have no big plans. I'm not going to the chicken or nothing like that. It's all going to everyday blue-collar worker. You know, you can relate. Everybody can relate to paying bills. That's what it's going to. It's going to paying bills.
Okay, so last question about the money. Why was it okay for you to take the money and not Athena? Can you speak on that?
Well, here's the thing. They didn't show it as well. But look, like I said, no one had a problem with me in the house. And for that reason, they didn't show this that much. But I told everybody everything I was going to do before I did it. I told them I was going to take the money before they voted. If that changed their mind, then fine. They voted for me anyway. I told them that. Well, Cheryl actually the ones in the house that from day one said, I have no idea what I'd do with that kind of money. We both said that from day one. You never seen me get mad at either one of them for taking the money. I mean, if you're going to say when I said sucker, yeah, that's because in the team challenge, we got duped. So, yeah, I was mad about it. So I said sucker. You know, it wasn't necessarily I was mad at Sean. I said, Sean, look, the next challenge, I'm not voting you in because of this, but because I think you're a competitor after that, for me, it's over with. It was always a game to me, Spicy. It was always a game. So it was okay, I guess, because I shot straight the whole time. I guess they felt like that they did it a different way. I can't speak on that because, like I said, I had no problem with it.
What would you say to America? You're the only person out of the 5 that are in there that's already won money. So what would you say to America right now why they should vote for you as the hero, as opposed to any of the other 4?
I really the only thing I can really say is if you like how I conducted myself and you see what I'm about, then so be it. Vote for me. I'm not really. The thing is, I'm not like campaigning like that for votes. I want them there being me. And that's what I wanted to do, and I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud of how I conducted myself. And if America wants to vote for me on that, then fine. If they don't want to vote for me because they feel like I'm already going home with somebody, you know what? Fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm good. Like, I'm so good with me. And this helped me, you know, become a better person, a better son, a better father, you know, a better husband. And that's all I care about. So, you know, they vote for me, fine. And a lot of people are supporting me. That's dope. And some people aren't. And that's, you know, that's dope too. That's cool with me. Everybody has their own opinion. I get a kick out of reading stuff on Facebook and all that stuff. I get a kick out of it. It makes me, you know, laugh. I got thick skin. I'm not tripping. So, I mean, if they want to vote, they vote. You know, I know I ramble a lot. I like to talk.
That's okay. We like talkers at AFTERBUZZ. That's okay.
What's your relationship like with Marty now? It seemed for the past 2 weeks that you weren't too pleased with him, and you know, for me, rightfully so. I don't know. I can't speak for Spicy or obviously the rest of the fans, but you know, how are you guys now today?
Me and Marty were good right after that. I knew he was in another room when I was saying that stuff. He knew I knew. We had to talk right after that. And I you know, gave it to him straight like I did with everybody. That's why everybody respected me and had no problem. Me and Marty are golden. That's my guy. I don't have a problem with Marty, and he don't have a problem with me. You know, it was the moment, and I you know, to me, he had got old. And, you know, it's one of those things where he needs to learn how to, like, check it out and, like, dial it down a little bit. And he's an amp guy anyway. Marty is nuts. Y'all met him? Y'all in the studio with him?
We were. He is turned up. So true. Yeah, he is. And he's really high strung. And in the beginning, and I said this on one of the first few episodes, I said that him and Sean were extremely high strung, and I wasn't sure about either one of them, but I did feel like, but Marty's intentions are pure. Like it's almost like childlike how, you know, energetic and fun and, like, you know, bright-eyed he sees things until he doesn't get his way like a child.
Yeah, very, very much so. And it comes from a very innocent place, though. It really does. Like, he's genuinely that passionate. That's what I love about the dude. Is that, you know, yeah, when, you know, he really get his way, he kind of gets the pout like he did back then. But, you know, we talk about it, he's going to work on it. You know, it's just, he is that competitive, though. He is really that competitive. But, you know, it comes a time where you just got to kind of dial it back. But it's easy for me to say, you know, I'm 32, about to be 33. You know, when I was in my early 20s, I was an idiot too. I mean, I'm not necessarily like that. I kind of had to go up quick because I lost my dad at 22. And that kind of made me go up quick too. So, you know, it's just everybody has their own journey. And, you know, Marty's a good dude. You know, me and Marty are good.
Darnell, there were several opportunities for the women to step up on the show, and they weren't. The Rock had to bust them out and tell them who's going to step up to the plate. I'm kind of disappointed in y'all. Out of all the women on the show, who do you feel like was possibly the strongest out of the women?
The strongest out of the women?
Yeah, in your personal opinion.
Really a matter of being strong. You really answered that question. Honestly, I always have to say Patty. I really thought Patty from jump. If you notice, I never called her the weakest link. I never thought that about Patty.
That's very true. You never did.
I never called her the weakest link. I never thought that for 1 second. I was always with Patty going to do something, because I know when you have people like that are trying to prove something to themselves, they're usually stronger than anybody. You know what I'm saying? They're usually people that step up because that fear keeps them going. And, you know, Patty, I love Patty. Let me tell you something. She is the most authentic person I've met in a long time. And, you know, I love what she did. I'm so happy for her. And, you know, folks are, you know, killing her on Facebook for the crying and all that, which is, you know, if he didn't cry just as much, I was doing a lot of crying too. Boo-boo. You know, who cares? You know, it got a little emotional. But I'm going to tell you, Patty is a strong woman, a real strong woman. And if I had to pick, I would say her.
Wow. And that's amazing, because I definitely gave Patty a hard time, too. I mean, I've given everybody a hard time on the show.
All my friends are like, man, what's up with Patty? I was like, man, if you knew her, if you only knew her. But, yeah, I hate you. And she knows it. She knows that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, me, I think she was a strong.
Well, after our interview with her last week, she has definitely, I mean, I already knew that she was like a phenomenal woman, but after the interview last week, when she was rolling with the punches, you know, she was actually addressing things that I've said about her, that Phil has said about her, that the world has said about her, and she was just brushing it off her shoulders and, you know, keeping it pushing, saying, you may think this about me, and, you know, you can say that I'm weak, but I have proved X, Y, and Z, and, like, she was really, really strong, and just so sweet, too. You know,
exactly.
And I really believe her. I believe her.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Speaking of that interview, I listened. I watched all of them. I love y'all. Y'all
Aw, thank you, Darnell.
I love it. But one thing was, I know with Taylor, she kind of felt like I checked out, and Patty didn't really say that. But here's the thing: I didn't check out. It just the chips kind of felt that way. I wanted to do things. I gave Dave I went to a challenge, the lie detector challenge. And for that, Dave didn't go. I was like, no, next time you got my spot. We don't know what the challenges are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him my spot in that next one. To me, I had done 2 hero challenges. And, I didn't need to be over the top having to go. Like, everybody knew I wanted to go. So I didn't have to voice that all the time. So it was like everybody else needs to get in there, too. I wanted everybody else to get some shine, too. And it's not like I was giving it to them like that, like, oh, here you go. It's not so to give you shine or whatever. But it was one of those things where that's how the chips fail. Just
right.
like you get 2 hero challenges. That's just how the chips fail.
So you were pretty much like, you weren't thirsty, pretty much. You were like, everybody can get their opportunity, and so
Right.
But So how did you feel about that when you heard her say that you checked out?
Who was there? I wasn't tripping. I mean, if she felt that way, she felt that way. I was good with it. Like, if she felt that way, I just had to address it. I just wanted to let you guys know that's not what happened. If she felt that way, then she felt that way. If other people felt that way, other people might have felt that way too. I wanted to clear the air and say, yo, I didn't check out. I was still mentally there now. Mentally, yeah. Was I strained? One thing it didn't show is I woke up from a nap and I completely lost it one day because I was done. Like, away from my family, all of it, I was done. So it wasn't like I checked out, but mentally, that day was tough. More so mentally to me than physically. That it was tough.
Well, there seems to be a little bit of like hero feud going on the show now, off camera, actually, between Lydia and Athena. What did you see behind the scenes that they didn't really show us? Because it seems it's some Twitter rivalry going on. People are calling each other out their names. I mean, we had both of them address it in studio, but I want to hear your opinion.
I'm not really with it. You notice you didn't see me in any of the drama scenes. I guess unless you count the whole Charles thing at the very beginning when we were getting to know each other. I wasn't with the drama. I went into myself. I'm not going to be in the middle of this. I can't go back home and have my daughter see me in the middle of just yelling at people and all this other nonsense. That what they got going on is nonsense to me. And it is what it is. I really don't have much to say about it. They do what they do. I'm going to do what I do. I don't agree with it. But, that's what they choose to do. That's what they choose to do. I'm not really with it.
Cool. I like that. You stay neutral and impartial because you still got to get these votes.
No, you know what? It's not even about the votes. Marty, it's not about the votes at all. It's about me being me. I'm truly not with it. Ask all of them. Ask them.
No, I believe you.
Ask them off the air. Ask them about me. I guarantee you that's what they'll say.
Drama free.
Because I didn't get into that mess. I mean, I think Athena said it. She was like, yeah, everybody talks about it, everybody except for Darnell. That dude's solid. She said that because that's the truth.
Well,
I didn't talk about folks like that. I wasn't with it.
That's a good reputation and legacy to leave behind. That's dope.
It's me, and I couldn't do nothing but be me.
We have to wrap up in a little bit, but I want everybody to be able to, one, vote for you, and also find out where they can find you at. If there's anything that you want to promote, anything that you want to shout out, can you do that for us?
Shout out to all the family men out there. Keep doing y'all thing. It's the family women too. Shout out to all those. Shout out to the real heroes, the teachers. Got to shout out the teachers. My wife got a master's degree. She's a teacher.
Nice.
Got to shout out the educators, the servicemen, the doctors, the policemen. I mean, shout out all info. If you want to find me, I guess the whole Baldy Mac on Twitter. That's cool. But
say it one more time.
Facebook and all that. That's cool.
Darnell, say it one more time because it was a little unclear. How can we? What's your Twitter handle? Do you have a website?
I get that a lot. I talk kind of fast. It's at Baldy Mac, BALDYMACK on Twitter.
Okay, perfect. And then if they want to vote for you too,
Facebook.com/MacBaldy.
Okay, perfect. And do you know the number that if people want to vote for you, there's a code that you're supposed to put in at the end?
Yeah, I don't even know the number. The text is 97979. You text Hero Darnell to 97979. The number's long. It's dumb long. I don't even remember what it is.
I'm going to need you to know that because 600,000 is riding on the line.
Go to Rock's Facebook page.
It is what it is. I mean, if people are going to vote for me, they're going to know the number.
I love it.
I'm not really tripping.
Dang, that makes it even tighter that you're not tripping. Because we saw people on the show who were tripping, you know, and that I love the fact that you're just kind of like, you know, leave it up to fate.
The only thing that killed me about the show is how they made the money look evil. Everybody was there for the money. We all knew we were signing up to get money. That's the thing that killed me. We all knew we was there for the money. To me, I would have been a fool not to take 50 grand home.
True.
On a challenge that doesn't affect anybody. I want to take money if it affected the team in any kind of way. But if it doesn't affect anybody, everybody should have went out there with some money. Now, when they changed the game and had to go home, I can understand not taking the money. Because if that would have been the case, I wouldn't take the money either. Because I wanted to play the game. So, it is what it is.
Well, you got to take the money, and you still got to make it through till the very end. So, I mean, you did all right by my book. That was pretty smart on your account.
Right on.
But we appreciate you for definitely coming on the show. We wanted to hear from you. I love and respect you now. You won Spicy over, and Phil definitely has a soft spot for you also.
What about you, Phil? Did I earn your respect? And thank you for having me, by the way. Did I earn your respect, Phil?
Here's what I'll tell you this, Darnell. Here's something that you and I will forever share. I lost my father at the age of 18, so I definitely know, what you went through. So, you know what I mean? That's a club it's an elite club, but not in a good way, and so I know what you've been through.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm a part of that club, Darnell.
I empathize with you, man.
I'm a part of that club with y'all, so I felt you when you were saying that too. So yeah, you definitely get props for that strength, and I know that your father's up there, and he is proud of you, and so is your family, and so are we here at AfterBuzz Studio.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, likewise, y'all. Likewise, y'all doing big things. I love it.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate you. We have to do our AfterBuzz predictions, though.
This is more of a who are you gonna vote for?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
So I know we do these predictions where we say.
Yeah, I know about it. I watch.
We say, what we think is going to happen next episode. And this is going to be our last episode.
The winners get chosen. I mean, there's no challenge. Darnell, right? Am I crazy? There's absolutely nothing to kind of really go over in terms of a challenge. It's just we get to vote. We'll see some kind of season recaps, right? Stuff like that.
You know what? You know this is not as much as I do on this one, brother. I'm assuming so. You know? I really don't think there's going to be any challenges. It is pretty, but it's going to be like a recap thing.
Okay, at any point, because this can be included like in the AfterBuzz prediction, do we get to see maybe The Rock do something physical? Does he get to join in on any fun or festivities with y'all and be in a semi-challenge or something? I would like to see him do a push-up or something.
Push-up.
You just want to see his biceps flex. That's all you want to see.
The Rock has biceps? I didn't even notice. Had no clue.
Hey, wait, do I get a prediction? Do I get one?
You get a prediction.
Yeah, whatever you want.
I think Patty wins.
Oh, you think she will be the hero?
Interesting.
I think Patty is going to be the hero.
I think Patty has a really strong chance because I was saying earlier that she has gotten out of everybody the most opportunities, camera time, and chances by you guys, and protection from y'all too. I think she has been taken out of stuff where she could have possibly been eliminated because you guys are so receptive and well, she's very well liked. And I think that she's the underdog, and America now for the first time sees a mom actually be sweet and authentic, but also cool and strong. And we don't really get to see a lot of strength from moms in situations that Patty was put in. It's not an everyday thing that a mom gets to do these physical challenges and show us, both aspects. So I do think that Patty's chances are pretty darn strong.
Absolutely.
Phil?
Absolutely.
It's going to be for me. I'm surprised that there's not a first place, second place, and third place. Most of these things kind of have that, and so it's really going to be interesting to me. I don't know. I'm really torn. I would love to vote for each of you.
Well, do that. You can vote up to 10 times. Get 2 votes for each of us.
That's what I was gonna do, but then Spicy was looking down upon me. I'd rather just let America decide. I love talking about you guys, and it's so tough for me to really pick someone. Well, because here's the thing.
You have to vote.
I will vote.
That's like not voting for the president.
But when you guys went, but here's the thing. When you guys went around the room and said, what kind of being a hero is to you guys, each of you has a different quality, that I really, really respect. And so, it's tough choosing a favorite out of all these guys. It really is.
I'm not gonna lie. After this interview, I'm probably gonna have to split my votes a little bit because I do love Lydia because she's like, I'm not gonna say it on the air, but she is a bad bee. I feel like she is strong. She's beautiful. She went to Berkeley, so she's got brains. I went to Cal too, and she is physically stepped up for the challenge. She's kept it 100. She won me over because I did think in the beginning that she had a funky attitude, but after watching more of the episodes, I saw that she was just as passionate as everybody else, and it wasn't to be mean. It was just she's blunt and very strong and opinionated, and that's a lot like me. And so I love Lydia, but you have also won my respect as a father, as just a giver on the show, and I think that you've kept it 100 too. And Patty's so sweet, so my vote's probably going to be split. I'm not gonna lie.
See, now you're getting on Phil for that.
I know, I was banging on Phil 20 minutes ago, and now I'm gonna split and have to vote for all of y'all. Damn it! But I love you, Darnell. I do love you. You got to vote for me.
All right, well, thank you so much, Darnell. We really appreciate it, and we'll be looking out for you next episode.
Definitely. I really appreciate y'all having me. Seriously, this is cool, man. Y'all, I'm big fans. Y'all do your thing.
Yay. And we'll be looking forward to the reunion episode, too.
And in the meantime, Spicy, where can our fans find you?
Oh, you guys can play with my Twitter at spicy_Madi, or you can stroke my Instagram at spicy_Madi, or go to the Spicy Life website.
And of course, follow us here at AfterBuzz TV on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that fun stuff. And I will say the only bad part about having Darnell was that the phone line wasn't as great quality as I would have liked it to. I hate the phone interviews are always so tough because you're like,
because he giving us,
he does, But I always hate that. It's always like at 80%, and you're like, if only 5% more it would be.
You guys are gonna have to watch this episode twice just in case you miss something, though.
But that's of course not Darnell's fault. So, but I did want to apologize to fans on that behalf.
We apologize.
But we'll be here for the finale.
Woo!
And we have one last guest calling in.
Yes, we do. Can we say?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, next week, you guys, we have Sean, who has been painted as the villain, to come back and defend himself. Dun, dun, dun. Tune in next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.